Hi, welcome back. The first 10 videos in this series discuss the frequently asked client attraction or marketing questions that we've discovered during our coaching, mentoring and training of entrepreneurs, particularly IFAs, throughout the last couple of years. Now, the next 10 videos in the series discuss a slightly different question, and that is the SAQs, or should ask questions about marketing. Questions that IFAs should be asking if they want to create the kind of business and the kind of life that they tell us that they really want. You see, one thing I think we all need to agree on, and it's this: if you don't ask the right questions in business and in life, then you'll come out with the wrong answers. If you don't even know what those questions are, what the fundamental questions of business and life are, then you'll never be able to create the kind of life, the kind of results and outcomes in your life that people tell me that they desire. You know, when you strip away all the babble, the waffle, the industry jargon, the hidden agendas, and all of the so-called tens of thousands of pages of news and important issues, what do you have left? What remains is a community of professionals who want some pretty simple, uncomplicated things in their life. What they want is the following. What they want to do is to spend far less time and far less stress in the business and the business life that they've created. What they want is to earn far more money in the time available to them. And what they want is freedom, the freedom to enjoy the fulfilling, meaningful and enjoyable kind of work that they yearn for. I mean, that's what people want, isn't it? What they also want is to do that honourably, to do it in a way with their clients that produces meaningful results in their clients' lives. And that's the truth. Isn't that what you and I, what we all want? So I wonder, how can watching these marketing SAQ videos help you to achieve those fundamental objectives in your life? And why have we at the Advisor Gym bothered to invest the time in creating such videos? Well, the reason is very simple. I've realised that I keep getting asked the same questions so frequently that I can best leverage my time and our effort and reach more people to answer the same questions over and over again by creating these simple tools. Tools like this video, can help us achieve a number of things. Tools like this video can help us answer questions like the frustration and discouragement that you feel when you've created a brilliant service and yet simply can't attract consistently enough the number of quality clients that will even appreciate that brilliant service. Tools that will help you deal with the pain of spending far too long in your business dealing with unenjoyable and really unprofitable clients that take you away from your personal life and your relationships, which really are what matter after all. And tools which will help you stop feeling pushed aside and marginalised by your competition, such that you feel that you are really picking up the scraps of the kind of clients that will help you develop the kind of business and life that you really yearn for. That's why we're doing this. So let's start answering and responding to some of that pain and frustration, shall we? Let's start helping you grab hold of that desirable life, that outcome that always seems to hover just out of your grasp. And let's start helping you ask the questions that you should be asking in order to get the results and outcomes that you really want. Let's look at should ask question number one, SAQ number one, and the question sounds something like this. How can I attract consistently, absolutely perfect and unquestionably profitable clients to my business? If you've watched the first 10 in this series of videos, you've probably got a pretty good idea of the answer to that question, but let's just review what we need to know. Firstly, you need to stop attracting to you or setting up a process which attracts to you clients that you really don't want in your life. Because what you need to do is create an environment, if you like, a series of habits and behaviours that consistently attract clients who will deliver the outcomes in your business and therefore your life that you say you really want. What's encouraging is that the answer to those questions are really not that complicated. In fact, it's disarmingly simple. What you need to do is to make sure that you attract only those clients, precisely those clients that absolutely match the perfect client description to your business. How do you do that? Well, let's look at that right now. What needs to happen is that you need to make a decision right now to focus your attention on one very, very tight, specific market. What we call in marketing a niche target market. A market in which your name is the go-to name. You are the go-to person when people think in that market about financial advice or financial planning. A market where your name is known because everybody in that market is talking about you. A market which, if you wanted to, you could actually dominate. Now, wouldn't that be a superb position to be in? What I'm going to provide you with are some simple tests that you can apply to answer the question, is this target market going to deliver what I want? And I have to tell you, if you can't pass these simple tests, then the outcomes that you want will simply not be there for you. The first test is this. When you communicate to this target market, can the market hear you speaking to them and only them? Secondly, do you understand the burning problems, the frustrations, the pains and the fears of this target market? Thirdly, do you have the ability to articulate, to communicate those problems in such a way that nobody else can articulate them as well as you? In fact, not even the target market itself can articulate them as well as you can. Next, when you communicate with that market, are you able to do it in a way where you can reach the greatest numbers of that target market, that niche target market, with the minimum of time, effort and cost? And finally, when you finally reach the target market and they're listening to you and attracted to you, can they afford to pay for the services that they value? If you can answer yes to those questions, well, I have to tell you, you're well on the way to developing the kind of clients, the kind of business that you wish. And if you can't, well, we have some work to do. But you know, these are learnable skills, these are learnable abilities and capabilities. You can learn these things quickly and simply if you just apply some effort and some concentration. So what I'm going to do to help you with that effort and concentration is to give an example of a client base that I attracted, a niche target market that I attracted to me to build an enviable IFA business just a few years ago. As an IFA a few years ago, I chose to focus my attention on one niche market, and that niche target market was freelance IT consultants. Now, what I did was I focused my attention on them and only them, to the avoidance of everybody and everything else. I read their magazines, I attended their conferences. All of my material, my brochures, pamphlets, leaflets and my business cards and all other marketing material spoke only to that target market, that very fine niche market. I even understood how to get to them efficiently and effectively with minimal time, cost and effort. And that was to look for the controlling forces on their market, and that controlling force was recruitment agencies who worked with freelance IT consultants. And what was beautiful at that time was they earned so much that they could afford to pay handsomely for our services. Eventually what happened was I migrated away from, or raised myself higher, to a platform where I was dealing with larger IT companies with 10, 20, maybe 100 employees, and clearly the quality of business was much higher and the revenue became even bigger. But for that point in my business history, those IT consultants were perfect clients for my business objectives. That makes sense, doesn't it? Now I hear from you this question coming. How exactly do I find for my business perfect clients that meet my criteria? How do I find perfect clients for me of that type? And I can tell you that, but I'll tell you that on the next SAQ marketing video. I look forward to seeing you there.